Hello, folks. This is Frank Deming, Mr. Market with Ease, and I want to welcome you to this webinar. And if you are in this webinar, it's because you have been invited to a small group of people. I've only invited about 100 people for this session because I wanted to keep it nice and intimate. And the reason for this webinar is because I want to expose to you the number one reason why 90% of all home-based business entrepreneurs fail. Now, by no means do I want you to think that this is a negative webinar, uh, because the outcome of this webinar is going to also reveal how best to ensure that you are part of the 10% of people that actually succeed. I wanted to keep this nice and small. That's why I limited to 100 people because I don't want this kind of information just getting out to everyone. I only wanted to out to people who are actually serious about growing their online business. And by you being on this webinar, you're demonstrating that you're serious about it. So I just want to move on here. So I want to welcome you guys to this webinar. And you're part of of an elite group of people who actually want to make it happen for yourself. Okay. Now, a couple of things before we get started that I want to talk to you about. First of all, this information is very powerful, so I want you to have undivided attention. Okay, I want you to put away all your distractions, silence your cell phones, uh, turn off your TV or your radio, stuff like that. Okay, and I want you to also grab a pen and paper because you need to take some serious notes in this webinar. Okay, I'm going to be exposing you to some information again. Sorry to repeat myself. That's really going to truly help you explode your business to levels that you never thought possible. Some more information about this webinar, guys, is that it's not an interactive webinar. We've tried that before, my team and I, and we really don't like the effect of the interactive webinar, questions being popped up at the end and all that kind of stuff. So it's not that kind of interaction. So um, over the past week or so, I'm sorry, month or so, excuse me, over the past month or so, I've actually tested this new technology where I can actually have my assistant answer any emails right here on the webinar live. So any questions that you may have with the information I'm going to expose you to, you can add. It is going to be interactive in the sense where you can send an email, and my assistant will reply to you on the fly. The other method, a lot of people were shy, and don't be shy on these webinars. So to eliminate that whole shyness thing, we implemented this technology where you can actually send an email, and only we see it, and we can reply to it right then and there. My assistant is more than qualified to answer any of the questions based on the content that I'm going to be sharing with you on this webinar. And if there's something that she can't answer, I will definitely answer it after the webinar is over. Okay, now let's move on, folks. Here's what we're going to cover today. First of all, I am going to talk to you about the characteristics that every home business owner has when they fail. And it's amazing when I share this with you guys that all of this stuff is all pretty common, that everyone has the same characteristic. And some of you who are on this call, you probably relate to it while I go through it. Okay? I'm also going to expose the characteristics that every home business owner has when they succeed. Now, this information here, you really need to start taking notes because if you're not doing some of the things that I'm going to expose you to, it's probably directly responsible for the reason why you're not making at least $10,000 per month in your online business. Okay. Now, I'm also going to expose 4 simple ingredients to imminent online business success. This is some powerful information, folks. When you read this, when I expose you to this, you really, really have to really drill down and take notes, okay? And the last but not least, I'm going to show you guys how to ensure your success online. And that is the goal of this webinar. That last bullet is paramount for your success. So you want to stick around to the end, okay? Now, before I even get started with the content, I want to introduce myself to you because I realize that some of you may not know me. Many of you do. I see your names popping up on the panel here, you latecomers. But anyway, many of you do, but some of you don't. So who is Frank Deming? Well, Frank Deming is an online entrepreneur and consummate family man who dared to leave a six-figure income job and proceed to live a life of freedom, abundance, and prosperity. Now, I know that's a very vague statement, but I'm going to dig a little deeper and actually give you some more exposure of who I am so you understand who you're going to be communicating with during this webinar, okay? See, my life was not smooth. It was actually pretty, uh, it was pretty mundane. It was not smooth at all. Although I was making a six-figure income, I was not a happy camper. I was unhappy and just plain frustrated with my job. I wasn't even getting along with my boss. I mean, it was a battle constantly, week in and week out. It was just wasn't a pretty picture. And the most thing I really hated about the whole life back then was, you know, I couldn't stand my commute. I live in the Washington D.C. metropolitan area. If anyone familiar with that area can relate that during the rush hour times, it wasn't, it's not an easy thing to come to and from work. Okay. Now here's what I did for a living. I used to be a program manager for a high profile government contractor, and I used to manage these very high profile projects with the government. And my immediate my immediate contract was with DHS, the Homeland Security Department of Homeland Security, and we managed some pretty hefty projects onwards of 1.2 billion dollar projects. I mean, my portion of the project was probably about 10 million, 10 to 15 million, but still it was pretty hefty. And we had to report to a lot of things. You had to do a lot of reporting and all that kind of stuff, and it really led to a lot of stress. And the customer deadlines were very unreasonable, and it pretty much kept me in the office, trying to solve problems late nights, and it was week after week, and I wasn't, as I said earlier, I'm a consummate family man, so I wasn't even seeing my family. I wasn't seeing my kids, and that was killing me. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. So since I went out of the job, I really looked into the MLM industry because I had heard that you could make some money with that, and I was like, if I was going to replace my six-figure income, I didn't know if it was possible, and I thought that the MLM business, that whole concept made sense to me because I was invited to one of those meetings in a hotel, and all those circles and figures made a lot of sense to me. I said, "Hey, I can replace my income," and I wasn't really looking for millions. I just wanted to basically replace my six-figure income. That's all I wanted to do. But to be honest with you, I was a bit turned off with all those hype meetings that the MLM industry seems to have, and it was bothering me and bothering me and bothering me because I was like, I'm a very calm person. If you can detect on my voice, I'm not a hypey person at all. I don't buy into the whole hype thing, and that was turning me off. But I stuck with it anyway because I really had a burning desire to leave my job. You know, I wanted to succeed so much that I didn't want to go with the whole friends and family recruitment thing. I knew that that didn't work. I knew there was no way that just by recruiting a few friends and family that all of a sudden I was going to have this huge downline. I knew that didn't work. I didn't go that route because I really wanted to succeed. I was pushing and pushing to succeed, and I wanted to just market my business. I did it like I used to do newsletters and I used to do newspaper advertisements and all that kind of stuff. But I failed for 2 years. I just couldn't I couldn't do anything. I couldn't recruit anybody. It just wasn't my personality. And it really hurt my feelings because I was like, I was really trying. It wasn't for a lack of trying. I tried really, really hard. And whatever I did just didn't work. So I saw a light at the end of the tunnel because I almost quit, to be honest with you guys. I almost said, well, the JOB isn't all that bad. But then a light hit me. Okay. Because I had stumbled upon the affiliate marketing business concept and I was like, wow, this is pretty good. I loved it because it was a true business model. Because basically you make up to 75% commissions on every sales. You don't have to create your own product. I was in heaven, because there was no recruiting, no convincing, and none of those hyped up meetings. I said, wow, this is how I'm going to get out of the job. It was a true business model where the customer makes a buying decision and you get paid. I was like, wow, this is exactly what I'm looking for because it was just like a department store. I mean, you think about it. You go to a Macy's, you go to a Neiman Marcus or Bloomingdale's or anything like that, and you Best Buy. There's no one asking you to join some business. You just basically are trying to recruit you into a business. You basically go in, if you see an ad on the paper, right? You go in, you say, oh, okay, you check out the merchandise and you make a buying decision right then and there. I mean, that to me was a true business, right? I mean, think about it, guys. And that's suited well with my personality. However, guys, I still failed. And it wasn't for a lack of trying. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to stay in this job forever? I mean, I'm hoping that a lot of you on this call can relate because you're probably in that situation right now. Like, wow, I mean, nothing seems to be working. I can't I mean, I had a pretty decent salary and I had a nice lifestyle. I didn't want to give that up just for some pipe dream. Well, anyway, I don't want to bore you with all the details. But after 3 years of struggling, okay, that was 2 years in MLM and one full year with affiliate marketing, success in the online business world came in the form of one simple word, folks. And it all boiled down to this: mindset. You see, I I read enough books to know that if I didn't start thinking like an entrepreneur, no matter what business I tried, I was never going to succeed. I started thinking like an entrepreneur. I put aside all of my employee mindset issues that I was having, and I really began to see results slowly but surely trickling in, and eventually I was able to quit my job. And it was all due to mindset. Okay, so now let's move on to the real content of this webinar. Just wanted to give you that brief introduction of who I am so you understand where I came from, and maybe a few of you can relate to what I'm talking about. You're probably there right now. Okay, now here's the ugly truth, guys. Sorry to tell you. But according to Dun and Bradstreet, and I only exposed this data because Dun and Bradstreet is a reputable, very fancy outfit, and they put out some great data, so you can check this out for yourself. But according to them, and based on my extensive research, 90% of people who attempt to start an online business end up failing to make a profit. Now that's pretty sad, okay? But it actually gets worse. You see, according to Money Magazine, another very reputable source, only 20% of successful online businesses earn 100K or more per year. Now let's dig deeper here. That means that of the mere 10% of the successful online entrepreneurs, only 20% of those 10% manage to earn 100K a year. Uh, that's not good, guys. That's not good at all. I mean, think about it. So Here are the characteristics that I really drummed up, and I was digging and digging and digging to find this. And here are the characteristics that I had drummed up that all of the home-based business entrepreneurs have when they fail. And this is something that I want you to pay attention to because you can probably relate to some of this. See, they all have this I can figure this all out myself mentality. Folks, that is driving a lot of people to failure. Think of it this way. When you first, did you basically become a teenager and start driving your car without any help? Did someone have to teach you about driving first? When you first when you was an adolescent, when you were 10 years old, or whenever time you first started to learn how to ride a bike, did you just figure it out yourself, or did someone have to give you some pointers? It's no different from the business, folks. If you can, you cannot do it all yourself. This is all specialized training with proven processes that you must adhere to. Yet everyone that failed all had this mentality. And then what ends up happening is they become overwhelmed with all this Blogger and Google and SEO and Yahoo and Facebook and social media, XYZ, Twitter. They get overwhelmed with all this stuff and they just bog down and it's like, I can't take it. So they try so many different things on their own without any help that their plan looks something like this spaghetti drawing that you see in front of you. Instead of looking like something structured like this, where they have a plan to succeed. And this is what it should look like. Then they all tend to go after all these one click to riches programs that are popping up like monthly or weekly basically these days, and that's embarrassing to the industry and actually hurts the industry. And they're sold this dream of making instant cash without having to do any work. Folks, it's easy to make money online, but there is work involved. None of these pie in the sky one click to wonders really work, but I'll give you more on that later. What ends up happening, folks, when they buy all these things and they try all these overwhelming things is that they end up frustrated because nothing seems to work whatever they try. And after the frustration, they get wrong advice from unqualified people, and they say, oh, this is why you're not failing and this and that, right? I mean, does none of this stuff sound familiar? And then what ends up happening is you end up quitting and you end up as part of the 90% of the people who fail. Now, here's the number one, the $1 million question. So, what do the successful online entrepreneurs who earn six figures? I'm not even counting the people who earn less than the six figures because that to me is not success. But that's just me. If success to you just means getting out of your job, that's one thing. But I'm talking about a six-figure income. What do they do that everyone else isn't doing? And I'm going to expose that to you because this webinar, like I said, is not just about doom and gloom. This is about helping you succeed. Basically, guys, and this is as simple as this, they all seek help from someone who has been where they are right now and can show them how to get to where they want to be. It's as simple as that. You see, the kind of help they receive, it all stems from stuff like they all help them create vision with a step-by-step path to success. See, if you don't have that, there's no way you know what actually succeed. They also uncover the hidden challenges that they will face before they hit you. And that's very important and very paramount for any home business. Actually, any business in general, but especially home business because we tend to not have the same support as a brick and mortar business does when they first launch. Okay, so uncovering hidden challenges is very important. And only a person that has been where you are today and that can help you get to where you want to be can show you and can uncover that for you. Okay? And they all receive inspiration to turn their business into a high profit machine, and that's very, very important. And they received the steps that put them into immediate action. And one of the things that really pound us, folks, and into failure is we don't take immediate action. I can't tell you the amount of times that I speak to people, current students of mine, who who are just not taking action. And success comes to people who take action. And getting this type of advice that basically puts you into immediate action is paramount for your success. So that's why the people who succeed, when they received this advice, they actually succeed. See, all advice like that can only lead to one thing, folks, and that's success. That's the only thing that advice that what I just showed you in the previous slide can lead to. But that's not all, folks. That is not all. I don't want to sound like a like a commercial, infomercial, but it is really not all. You see, there are four ingredients to imminent success that all of the 10% of the people who actually succeed in online businesses from home, they actually apply these four ingredients. And I'm going to share those with you. So here's where you need to really, really jot this down, folks, okay? You see, they all market what you're passionate about. That is number one. You have to market what you're passionate about. If you don't care, if your only motive for jumping into an online business is to make money, I'm going to tell you right now, you're failing. Get out of the business and forget about it. That could be your main reason for failure because I need the money. It can't be about that. It has to be about something that you have a passion for, something that you would do for free if money wasn't an issue. So think about that a little bit. Start thinking about what are the things that you're passionate about, and we can help you package it and sell it. The number two ingredient to imminent success is understanding the three pillars of success. Now, here's what I mean. Mindset is a pillar of success. As we spoke to previously, mindset changed my life. I started thinking like an entrepreneur, and basically, I changed my life, and I was able to quit my job. That was my end goal, really. I didn't want to make $1 million. I wanted to change. I wanted to leave my job. Another pillar is marketing. Understanding marketing is key, folks. You have to know the psychology behind it. And number three is communication mastery. When you understand how to communicate with your potential customers, there is nothing in your way for your success. You can trust me on that one, okay, guys? Okay. The number three ingredient to imminent success is thinking in terms of long term. Now, it took me a long time to understand this concept, folks. But really and truly, when you think in terms of long term, meaning beginning with the end in mind. So when you have I'm gonna just give you an example of what I mean, so you're following this. If you have a marketing campaign going, let's say it's an email marketing campaign, you have to think of the end result of that campaign before you start writing stuff, because the end result is gonna put the words in your mouth. It's going to put the words that you need to communicate to that audience that you're trying to communicate. That's just one small tip, but this is a big one that I would love to share with you and help you along with that. If we could communicate in the future. Okay, guys. And the number four ingredient to imminent success is learn how to deal with adversity. Folks, if you were told that if let's say you're in an MLM business, or if you're in if you're in an affiliate business, or even if you're in a gardening business where you're a consultant or an accountant, if you were told that, you do these things and you don't have to worry about anything, you never have issues, folks, you were lied to. Adversity is part of life, and business is no different. And learning how to deal with adversity is going to help you tremendously in your business and help you bounce back quicker than you thought possible, because adversity will come. And this is why working with somebody is very important, because they help you actually, all the people who succeeded, and when I interviewed them in the 10% of succeeding on online business, they all had help in these four areas. And then number four was clue. It was paramount. Was very, very important for them, because there were things that were coming left and right that wasn't even expecting it, and they were having that mastermind. And that's what really learning how to deal with adversity helps you, is join a mastermind group that's going to help you with that stuff. And that's what they did. Okay. Now, what is in it for you? What is in it for you? What does what does all of this have to do with you? I'm going to share that with you right now. Okay. Now, for the good news, because I've been giving you some bad news before, but here's the good news. My promise to you was to give you a path to imminent online success, and I'm going to start talking about that from here on in of this webinar. Okay. Now, I went on a mission, guys. I mean, a true mission, and I wanted to help as many home business entrepreneurs succeed as I can. So I decided to create a rock solid internet marketing course that shows all home business entrepreneurs how to truly grow a successful home-based business online. Okay, and I wanted to do this. I thought about this because you've heard me say this many times. It's so easy to make money online. I don't understand why people were failing. And I was like, this can't be. Why are they failing? And it's because all these internet marketing courses don't really teach them the true thing, right? Well, I started to think about this. Is that really what you guys need? Because there were a couple of issues with that idea. I was thinking, who needs another home study course that shows people how to make money online? I mean, I think we need that like we need a hole in the head, right? And B, see, there was a couple of, there were some core competencies that needed to be addressed with that idea. And I'm going to talk to you about that, because I decided to dig a little deeper and go back to the stats I found when I was doing my research with Dun & Bradstreet, because I wanted to find some finite things that I could pinpoint, and then maybe I can really develop an online marketing course that addresses everything. Okay. However, you see, because it became evident, it became evident that people who were successful all need to know how to convert themselves from an employee to an entrepreneur. And I was thinking, how do I do that with an online marketing course, right? It all came down to mindset, basically. Converting yourself from an employee to an entrepreneur it's a mindset thing, point and simple. It's mindset. And also, they also need to understand marketing, before you learn how to market on the internet. So I said, well, how do we package that? I mean, so many online business opportunity, so many online business courses out there, internet marketing courses. How do you actually package all of this stuff to help people, right? So here's my decision. Instead of creating another internet marketing course, I decided to help this disturbing 90% failure rate that that's basically haunting all of the home-based business owners in the following way. So here's my strategy, folks. I want to introduce you to what I'm calling the Winner Circle Online Business Strategy Session. Now, I know you're probably asking a lot of questions. What does that mean? Well, here's what it entails. Basically, I want to give you a strategy session that gives you a clear vision of your ultimate business success and the perfect lifestyle that you want your business to provide you with. Okay, that's very, very, very important. See, I also want to uncover hidden challenges that that may be sabotaging the growth of your business and keeping you working too many hours and making too little income. That's very important for you to understand, because there's some things that since I've been there, I can help you uncover that you probably are not seeing right now. I also want you to leave this session, um, renewed, and re-energized and inspired to basically turn your business into a highly profitable revenue generating machine that basically runs itself. Okay. And that is a possible thing. I'm living proof of that. But the most important thing that this strategy session is going to entail, well, before we leave that session, is you're going to discover the one simple step that anybody can do that will take immediately and get into action. Okay, will take you by the hand and immediately put you into action. That one simple step is very, very key. Okay, now before I even produce this webinar, um, I wanted to put this whole thing to the test because it all sounds good. Can I actually help somebody with an hour's worth of conversation? So before letting everybody know about my strategy session that I created, I wanted to sit down with only a select few of marketers that were already in my inner circle, kind of, sort of, not really engaging, kind of like dormant. Like a lot of people just lie dormant, and that's what these folks were. And I knew they were struggling, so I put it to the test with them. Now, it was 10 home business uh, 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 marketing success seekers, and they all had a burning desire to truly make their business work for them. So I spoke to 10 of them um, that wanted this, and here's the results of this beta test, if you will. It was just outstanding. The results, outstanding. I was happy just by you know just by seeing the results that I got, and I just want to share a few testimonials so you know what happened with this. Now, first there was Charles, and Charles is in the MLM industry, and he wrote, "I just want to say thank you, Frank, for showing me the path to true online success. Before chatting with you on your strategy session, I had no idea what I was doing, and now I'm actually collecting leads and effectively communicating with them. I can't thank you enough." That's Charles, and he's in Texas. Then there was Dorothy, who's in the insurance business. Um, I'm so thankful for your help that I am at a loss for words. I can't explain the joy and satisfaction when someone calls me up and says, "I found you on the internet and I understand you can help me with my health insurance. You know, Thanks to you, I finally have gained a steady flow of clientele." That's Dorothy, and she's in Iowa. Then there was Christina, who is in the internet marketing business. She's an affiliate marketer, actually. Before I met Frank, I knew nothing about SEO. After just one conversation, this is the strategy session she's talking about. I took action on a few things he suggested, and I that I do, and within the next 12 days of trying his suggestions, I was on the first page of Google and actually collecting leads, something I was unable to do in the past. Thanks, Frank. That's Christina, and she's in Florida. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. How much for this strategy session? Well, before I tell you how much this strategy session is, just ask yourself this question. What is it worth to actually know that finally you will succeed with your home-based business? Just really, really dig deep on that one. Think about that. And here's what my beta testers paid. The 10 folks I talked to you about, because I charged them a $1,500. I gave them a 50% discount because I usually charge $3,000 for an hour. That's my hourly charge when I have consultations with people. So they they enjoyed 50% off because it was a beta test. I wasn't sure how effective it was going to be. So I gave, and plus they kind of knew me already. So I said, okay, I'll give it to you for $1,500. That was the value that it was. Now here's your cost for this. For a limited time only, folks, I'm going to give it to you 100% free. The Winner Circle online business strategy sessions is yours 100% free, guys. That's right. Now, I am opening the doors, folks. I'm going to open the doors to a select few who are ready to take action right now. Okay? Now, there is a catch. I just want to warn you about that. There is a catch. Isn't there always a catch, guys? Since my time is very limited, folks, as you can imagine, I only have time to work with people who are ultra serious about finally earning a full-time income with your online business. So if you're not serious, this isn't for you. I like to work with people who take action, um, who basically take my advice and immediately put it into action. If you're not going to do that, then I cannot help you. I really can. If you know for a fact that you're going to take my advice and say, okay, yep, Frank, if you say this is going to help, I trust you. Boom, do it, and that's it. And basically, all I'm looking for is people who really, really, really want to make that happen, who have a burning desire to make that happen. And if you're not going to take advantage of this free Winner Circle online business strategy session and actually implement the strategy, then I really can't help you, and I really don't want to waste that hour with someone who's not going to take action. Okay, so that's very, very important. Okay, so I want you to head on over to mybusinessstrategysession.com, or the button must have popped up right now on the bottom of this webinar session that you can click on. It's going to take you to that. It's going to take you to that. To that website so you can register for it. So now before you head over there, here's the experience of what's going to happen. You're going to head over there, you're going to fill out a really short form, some basic information that I need from you, and then you're going to be receiving a call from my assistant, and she's going to schedule some time with me. Okay, now I just want to I just want to give you some more information with this. Okay, folks. The information that I'm going to talk to you about is uh, you're going to be talking to me. Okay, I know many people on this call have been on webinars before, and then they talk to someone, and it's not the person they want to talk to. No, I am gonna. This is why I say I have limited time, so I only want to talk to serious people because it's gonna be me. It's gonna be my time that you're gonna be with. I'm not gonna outsource this to some other guy who's working with me on my team. It's me. You're gonna be working one on one with me in this 1 hour business strategy session. So just understand that the only other person you're going to be talking to is my assistant, and that's just to schedule the appointment. Okay. Now remember, guys, I only have time to work with the ultra serious people. So if you're looking to put your business on a positive side of the business equation, head over to that website that you see right now, or the button that you see that popped up in the bottom of this webinar here. You just click on that button, and or just type it out on your screen. You see it right there, mybusinessstrategysession.com. Fill the form. And you'll be within 24 hours of the next business day, you'll be receiving um, a call from my assistant scheduling that appointment based on your availability and mine, of course. So we'll make sure that we make it within a reasonable time. Now, these strategy sessions, folks, as you can see, they're very powerful. They're very meaningful to me. I take them very, very serious, and I want you to take them as serious as I do, because I really and truly want to help you succeed. Okay, it's so easy to make money online. There's no reason for you to be struggling. If you're not making, if you can't get past the $2,000 per month uh, goal, and you want to reach that $10,000 per month, this is for you. If you've never made a dime and you've been trying and trying and trying, this is for you. The only criteria is that you're serious. I know I keep saying that, but I don't want anyone who's not serious, who's not going to take action and start working with the stuff that I give them. The only reason why the beta test was so successful is because all those people took action. I only shared three. I don't like to put a whole bunch of testimonials on. I only shared three, but all 10 actually was successful in that beta test. And there's no reason why you're not going to be successful as well. The only reason why you wouldn't be successful is if you don't take action how they took action. Okay. And here's the thing, they paid for that session. And you don't have to pay. So I'm going to take time out of my schedule to make sure that that you're successful with this. So head on over to mybusinessstrategysession.com. I'll click on the button below, and I will see you on that strategy session. Okay. Now, I want to conclude this. I want to recap in conclusion of what we talked about. Okay. Now, remember this: all of the 90% of the people, based on based on Dun& Bradstreet, the 90% of people who fail on home-based businesses, all they never ever sought out help. They tried to do it themselves. They spun their wheels and they ended up quitting. All, not some, all of the 10% who succeeded all sought out and got help. Now, the 20% of the people who make the 10%, those are the ones. Remember, I talked to you about people getting people getting bad advice. Those are people that can't make at least six figures. If you can't make six figures in your online business, then that's not success for me. Okay, if you can't make at least 100K per year in your online business, you're not succeeding. So just remember that. Don't get wrong advice. Get the right advice that's going to get you over the hump as quick as possible, and you will succeed. So just remember the thing that I said. It's the button should still be up. It's mybusinessstrategysession.com. Head on over right now. Fill the form out. My assistant will call you, schedule an appointment with you, and you'll be talking to me again. I'm going to repeat myself there. Okay, it's me you're going to be talking to. You're not going to be talking to some. You're not going to be talking to my assistant, other than the fact that she's going to schedule an appointment. Um, but in terms of the strategy session, you can be talking to me, someone who's been where you are right now, and actually can get you to where you need to be. Okay, so with that, folks, I wish you guys nothing but the best. Um, Looking forward to talking to you on the strategy session and actually giving you the success that you really, really deserve, and showing you how simple it is to make money online. As you know, I always say that, and it's a true fact. So with that, folks, I wish you nothing but the best. Take care, and bye for now.